Welcome to this lecture on circular motion. In this lecture, we will be talking about the centripetal acceleration and centripetal force. We will be referring to uniform circular motion और uniform circular motion आप already apprised हैं उस motion को हम कहते हैं which is a motion along a circular path and the body possesses a constant speed even though बॉडी का वेलोसिटी तो चेंज होता है लेकिन स्पीड कांस्टेंट रहता है. तो थिंक ऑफ ए सर्कल विद रेडियस r, ये इसका सेंटर O है, एंड थिंक ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ मास m गोइंग फ्रॉम पॉइंट A टू पॉइंट B. अगर हम पॉइंट A पर इसकी वेलोसिटी की डायरेक्शन लें दैट इज अलोंग द टेंजेंट ड्रॉन एट पॉइंट A एंड से इट गोज टू अ पॉइंट B वेयर ये इसका पॉइंट B position है where the velocity is of same magnitude but a different direction. So I'll call this as velocity v2. Now what happens in this case कि जब हम ऑब्जेक्ट के मोशन को देखते हैं इसको एक कर्व्ड पाथ पर हम ले जा रहे हैं, अगर एक फोर्स प्रेजेंट ना हुआ जिसको हम एक इनवर्ड सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स कहते हैं, this object will have a tendency to fly along the tangent. उस टेंडेंसी को ओवरकम करने के लिए जिसे हम डायरेक्शनल इनर्शिया कहते हैं, वी रिक्वायर ए फोर्स विच मस्ट कंपेल द बॉडी टू चेंज दैट स्टेट एंड वी कंपेल इट टू मूव अलोंग दिस पाथ. नाउ व्हाट इज आवर एम? आवर एम इज टू डिराइव एन एक्सप्रेशन फॉर दैट फोर्स which we will call as centripetal force, and thinking of centripetal force F as a product of mass and acceleration. Mass of the body is m, a is centripetal acceleration, so we can start like this कि we first derive expression for centripetal acceleration, multiply it by the mass of the body so that we obtain centripetal force. So how we go about this, let's see. यहाँ आप देख रहे हैं कि अगर मैं वेलोसिटी v1 लेता हूँ at point A, इस वेलोसिटी का डायरेक्शन ये है, here is the direction, और जो वेलोसिटी v2 है ये इसका डायरेक्शन है. सो आई एम प्रोड्यूसिंग बैक v2 इन दिस मैनर सो दैट इट टचेस और इंटरसेक्ट्स विद वेलोसिटी v1. नाउ ये आप देखें यहां से लेके यहां तक, फिर ये और एक क्वाड्रिलेटरल हमारे पास है. इफ आई से दैट दिस एंगल इज थीटा, आई कैन प्रूव कि जो ये एंगल इन दो वेलोसिटीज की डायरेक्शन के बीच में है v1 और v2 की डायरेक्शन में, दैट विल आल्सो बी थीटा. Now this is the position vector r, this is the position vector r of the object at two positions, position A and position B. I join A with B, so I obtain a line. ये आप देखें कि here is the line AB and we have three vectors now. So there is a vector AB, this is point B, and this is the direction of this vector. My requirement is like this, that if I define acceleration as the change in velocity divided by time, तो ये मेरी requirement है that I would like to find out acceleration of the body in going from point A to point B. What is change in velocity? The change in velocity would be simply vector v2, that is velocity at point B, minus vector v1, that is the initial velocity at point A divided by time taken. I can take that time taken as t2 minus t1. Now it will be mathematically possible for us that if I call this change a small change denoted by delta v and this a small time interval denoted by delta t, I can obtain the expression for the acceleration. Now how to go about finding out this v2 minus v1 is कि हम इस सर्कल में जो ये पॉइंट है, इस पॉइंट पर जहां पर दो वेक्टर्स v1 और v2 आपस में मिलते हैं, तो मैं इसको एक v1 वेक्टर जिसका मैग्नीट्यूड जो है वो v2 के बराबर है, क्योंकि मोशन एक यूनिफॉर्म सर्कुलर मोशन है, तो इसको मैं v कह देता हूं. लेट मी कॉल इट एज v. मैग्नीट्यूड वाइज दे आर बोथ इक्वल वेक्टर्स, हाँ, डायरेक्शन वाइज दे आर नॉट. सो I would like to work out on this by drawing a triangle here. तो मैं एक ट्राइंगल ड्रॉ करता हूं by taking it like this कि अगर मैं इस v1 वेक्टर को यहां से उठा के यहां रख दूं, so this is a displacement of vector parallel to itself, so I displace it parallel to itself, so I call this as vector v1. Then I take this vector v2 and I displace it to parallel to itself, so this is vector v2. I find that angle between v1 and v2 is angle theta, so I call this as angle theta. I call this triangle as P, Q, R, and I join QR. Now from this triangle PQR, from triangle PQR, you can see कि अगर हम वेक्टर रूल्स ऑफ एडिशन जिसको हम ट्राइंगल लॉ कहते हैं वो यूज करें, सो व्हाट आई गेट वेक्टर PQ प्लस QR is equal to PR. So PQ plus QR, two vectors taken in same order, is the third side of the triangle taken in the opposite order, so PR is in the opposite order. So you will see that the vector QR is equal to PR minus PQ. तो आप PR को देखें, this is PR becomes equal to vector V2, so this is vector V2, PQ is vector V1 minus vector V1, so this is QR. अब ये vector QR जो है, which is the side, this side of the triangle, इसको हम यहाँ associate करते हैं. You will agree with me कि अगर आप दो triangles को consider करते हैं, so we can consider triangle OAB and triangle PQR. So let you consider them for similarity. Let's see whether they are similar or not. You will see कि ये एक isosceles triangle है जिसके दो sides आपस में equal हैं और एक angle theta उनके बीच में subtend हो रहा है. यहाँ पर चूंकि हमने कहा कि magnitude of vector V1 is equal to magnitude of vector V2, तो ये भी एक isosceles triangle है और उस isosceles triangle में जो दो sides हैं they are equal in magnitude, the angle between them is theta. So I can prove that this triangle OAB is similar to triangle PQR. Which rule I am using? I am using side angle side rule of similarity of triangles. And this rule, triangle that triangles are similar, can be used now for something more. What I do is कि जो ये change है, this change from point A to point B, let's say that this change takes place over a very short span of time, such that the time interval is very very small, जिसको हम बाद में एक limit delta t 0 देने वाले हैं, and during that small time delta t, this point B will be very very close to point A. So what you see is कि जैसे आप point B को point A के close लेके आ जाते हो, this angle, ये जो angle है, the angle between direction of position vectors OA and OB tends to be small. ये एक delta theta angle बनता है. और साथ ही साथ जो यहाँ पर हमने ये chord लिया है joining point A and B, this chord, it is joining A and B, tries to become equal to arc. So something significant कि जो एक chord होता है उस chord की length, तो जिसको मैं suppose एक chord AB कहता हूं यहाँ पर chord AB, it tends to be equal to arc AB if A and B lie very close. Now when do A and B lie very close? Because if we think of delta t to be a very small angle, these two points tend to be very close to each other. तो let me come to that approximation now कि जब हम repeat करेंगे इस procedure को by bringing point B very very close to each other, this angle reduces to delta theta. So this is delta theta. The arc AB becomes equal to chord AB. So you will agree with me कि जो हमारे पास ये similarity है, what this similarity is going to give us. The similarity of these two triangles, जो मेरे पास एक triangle जो मेरे पास ये ट्राइंगल और ये ट्राइंगल है, मैं इसको शेड कर रहा हूं. सो दीज आर द टू ट्राइंगल्स एंड दीज टू ट्राइंगल्स वी आर कंसिडरिंग. सो यू विल सी दैट द वेक्टर QR length, which becomes something like delta V later, because it is V2 minus V1 divided by AB. So I'm taking the ratio of the corresponding sides is equal to length PQ divided by OA. आप PQ के बजाय PR भी ले सकते हो because both are equal in magnitude. आप यहां OA के बजाय OB भी ले सकते हो because O and OB are both equal in magnitude. So what is this QR? QR we have already proved that it is delta V. It is the change in velocity. What about AB? Now AB, I will say कि अभी तो ये AB chord दिखाई दे रहा है, but once I take the limit delta T to be very very small, this chord becomes nearly equal to arc. So I call it as arc AB is equal to, what is PQ? So PQ is magnitude of one of these velocities, which I say that this is V. And what about OA? OA is equal to R. So we saw that QR, which is equal to delta V, arc AB becomes now equal to the chord AB, PQ is V, OA is R. अब देखिए जो arc AB है, it is the distance covered by this body. अगर हम एक object को लेते हैं with constant speed V, and this would be the constant speed V multiplied by delta T. That means speed is equal to distance covered divided by time taken. तो मैं इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकता हूं, V is equal to arc AB divided by delta T. तो I substitute here, I have delta V divided by arc AB की जगह V multiplied by delta T is equal to V divided by R. So that we can finally say that delta V divided by delta T is equal to V square divided by R. Now this delta V by delta T, if I say that limit delta T tends to 0, इससे ये justify होता है that we have replaced the arc AB with chord AB. So that is justification for this. I get delta V divided by delta T, limit delta T tends to 0 is equal to V square by R, and this is the acceleration of the body. And this acceleration, which is equal to V square by R, is the acceleration which body will possess, and it will be the acceleration towards center. I can correspondingly write the expression for centripetal force. इसको हम centripetal acceleration कहते हैं. Direction we will take a review after this. तो मैं अब अगर mass of body से multiply कर दूं, so I obtain from Newton's second law the value of force. Force is mass multiplied by acceleration. So in this case, this will be force equal to mass multiplied by V square by R. So this is the centripetal force. I can also put V equal to R omega, so that I have the centripetal force can be written like this. V square becomes R square omega square divided by R. R gets cancelled. So this becomes mr omega square. So that way they are the two alternate expressions for centripetal force. Now how do we judge the direction of centripetal acceleration? बड़ा simple है that you see कि जो centripetal acceleration का direction है, या तो हम product लें that we have v equal to omega cross r, इसको हम differentiate करके एक रेडियल और एक टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन निकालते हैं. जो रेडियल एक्सेलरेशन है, जिसको हम सेंट्रीपिटल एक्सेलरेशन भी कहते हैं, वी कैन ऑब्टेन द डायरेक्शन बाय यूजिंग डायरेक्टली द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ दिस क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट एंड ऑब्टेन इट. नाउ इन दिस केस व्हाट वी कैन थिंक ऑफ, वी थिंक ऑफ लाइक दिस कि द मोमेंट यू ब्रिंग पॉइंट बी वेरी वेरी क्लोज टू पॉइंट ए, जैसे जैसे आप पॉइंट बी को बहुत ही नजदीक लाते जाते हो टुवर्ड्स पॉइंट बी, सी व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन दिस केस. व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इज कि जैसे हम इस पॉइंट B को पॉइंट A की तरफ लाते हैं, द एंगल थीटा टेंड्स टू बिकम स्मॉल, और इस एंगल थीटा को जैसे हम डेल्टा थीटा बनाते हैं, विच मीन्स दैट द एंगल बिटवीन V2 एंड V1 goes on changing, and this angle goes on decreasing, and with the decrease of this angle delta theta, we have to find out कि what would be the direction of acceleration. When I write acceleration A is equal to change in velocity divided by time, so you will agree that the direction of acceleration is same as the direction of change in velocity. Because change in velocity is the actual vector here, जो delta t है, it's a scalar. So you can say कि we are multiplying a scalar 1 by delta t to a vector which is delta v. So whatever is the direction of delta v, that will be the direction of acceleration. So whatever is the direction of acceleration is the direction of change in velocity also. आप देखेंगे इस डायग्राम में that as we go on decreasing this angle delta theta, जो ये delta v है, this is the delta v, it tends to become more and more perpendicular on either of the velocities, whether it is v2 or v1, because you are closing v2 towards v1. So अगर ये v1 है, this is v2, you are trying close, तो ये जो difference है, difference between the vector v1 and v2, और ये है हमारे पास angle delta theta, this becomes perpendicular to the velocity v1. And what it means in this diagram now, in this diagram it means that the change of velocity, which is also the direction of acceleration, is perpendicular to the direction of v1. So this is v1 and here would be the direction of acceleration. So when we say that we have this acceleration will be obviously an acceleration which will be always perpendicular to the velocity of the particle at each point of time, and the situation would look like this कि ये अगर velocity है यहाँ पर, so this is the direction of acceleration. अगर यहाँ velocity ये है, so this is the direction of acceleration, ये perpendicular. अगर ये velocity है यहाँ, this is the direction of acceleration. So this acceleration will always be directed towards the center of circular path, and we call it as centripetal acceleration. We can also determine it analytically by using this equation, differentiating and get the direction for radial acceleration and centripetal acceleration. Now from this relation that F is equal to m into a, m is a positive scalar mass of the body, so whatever is the direction of centripetal acceleration is also the direction of centripetal force. So what is centripetal force now? Centripetal force is a force which acts towards the center of a circular path and compels a body to move along the circular path and overcomes the directional inertia. If centripetal force ceases to exist, the body will shoot along the tangent of the circular path. So in this lecture, what we have seen is we started with the concept of circular motion, particularly a uniform circular motion, where we saw that the body has to move along a circular path. The radius of that path is r. We find that if it's a uniform circular motion, the speed of the body remains constant, but speed does not mean that velocity is constant, because velocity has direction also. So we took 2 points A and B, one velocity v1 and other velocity v2. Maybe magnitude wise they are equal, but direction wise they are not equal. We found the difference v2 minus v1, which becomes change of velocity divided by the time taken, and we get acceleration. The formal expression for that acceleration is that acceleration is equal to v square divided by r, or we can also put it as r multiplied by omega square. Centripetal force is the product of mass and acceleration, so it becomes equal to mv square by r, or mr omega square. There are a number of applications which we find in physical world of this concept, and importantly you have to understand that starting from the atom itself, where an electron is in the state of uniform motion around the nucleus, and then to the planetary system and others, we have very important application of this concept, which we will do with the passage of time. Now we come to one of the applications of the concept of circular motion. आप सबने देखा है that if we have a level road, that means the road surface is like this. Level would mean कि अगर ये बैंक, right bank और left bank दोनों एक ही level में है, that's level. अगर ये ऐसा हुआ, we call it as a banked road. तो imagine एक level road है लेकिन circular है. जैसे एक स्टेडियम में सर्कुलर ट्रैक होता है, लेवल, राइट किनारा, लेफ्ट किनारा, दोनों एक ही लेवल पर, और ट्रैक सर्कुलर है, बिल्कुल वैसे ही. लेट्स इमेजिन कि एक साइकिलिस्ट या एक मोटरसाइकिलिस्ट ऐसे ही एक लेवल रोड पर एक कर्व को ट्रैवर्स करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. सो दिस इज द कर्व on the level road. Imagine ये बैंक और ये बैंक एक ही लेवल पर है, और इस कर्व का जो रेडियस है, that radius, as I take it roughly, average radius from the center of this track, say that radius is r. The moment a cyclist tries to negotiate this curve, he automatically bends, he leans towards one side. तो अगर ये साइकिलिस्ट की पोजीशन है, the position is कि ये उसका टायर है, so this would be the cyclist here somewhere standing on the cycle. So this is the plane of the cyclist. So what we find is that the cyclist is not now in this plane. So this is the cycle. Cyclist does not remain in this plane. He tends to bend rightwards or leftwards depending कि वो ट्रैक कैसे ट्रेवर्स कर रहा है. So the moment I see that the cyclist is trying to traverse this track, he goes like this now. So what has happened? Why this bending? What does he obtain out of it? Let's do some simple exercise on this concept. The exercise is like this, कि anything which needs to move along a circular path requires a centripetal force. जो यहाँ आप देख रहे हैं कि जो साइकिलिस्ट एक साइकिल टच कर रहा है ग्राउंड को, तो यहाँ से ग्राउंड से एक नॉर्मल रिएक्शन आर आ रहा है. Let's say the angle at which cyclist is bending with respect to the vertical, तो ये इसका vertical है. Here is the vertical. This angle is theta. We can resolve this r, ये जो normal reaction r है, we can resolve it into two components. This is one component, r cos theta. This is the second component, r sin theta. And you will see कि जब एक cyclist curve track को traverse करता है, he bends inwards. That means अगर track का inner edge ये है, तो वो inner side की तरह bend करता है. And when he is trying to bend inwards, he generates a force which is r sin theta towards the center of the arc. तो arc is somewhere here like this. तो ये इस track के inner side की तरफ एक force generate कर रहा है r sin theta. Now this force r sin theta combined with other forces in this diagram will give us something very simple, a very simple idea about the value of angle theta. What you see is कि इस डायग्राम में r cos theta जो है, this is the vertical component of r, it will be balancing weight, so I put r cos theta equal to mg. Now this r sin theta component, which is going to provide the necessary centripetal force, I know कि अगर cyclist की velocity v है, mass m है, m is mass of cycle plus cyclist, और radius of this curved track is r, then the required centripetal force for the safe negotiation of this curve would be mv square by r. Now I take these two equations. If I divide r sin theta by r cos theta, so we are dividing the second equation by the first equation. We have mv square by r divided by mg, or mv square by r into 1 by mg. M gets cancelled. This cancellation of m is significant. So this is v square by rg. Here r gets cancelled. So we have tan theta equal to v square by rg. So I can say that angle theta, which is tan inverse of v square by rg, would be the angle required by the cyclist for the safe negotiation. Now if I say that value of v is very, very large, you will see that theta is large. Theta is large if velocity with which cyclist is negotiating the curve is large, or he is trying to negotiate a very straight, a very curved or a path with a very strong curvature, which means small radius, it will be required that theta will be large if r is very small. So इन दो चीजों को आप देख सकते हैं that in different cycle और motorcycle races, bike races, you will see कि अगर एक cyclist बहुत ही high speed पर चल रहा है, there will be a requirement कि he has to bend more or he has to lean more inwards. Inwards means कि अगर कर्व इस डायरेक्शन में है, so कर्व के सेंटर की तरफ वो ज्यादा बेंड करेगा या लीन करेगा for the safe negotiation. And you will have now to think about this relation कि अगर आपके पास एक पर्टिकुलर वेलोसिटी दी हुई है, एक पर्टिकुलर रेडियस दिया हुआ है, g की वैल्यू दी हुई है, so you may ask the value of theta from it when we go for the problem solving on this. Now come to a very important concept again here, that who is going to provide this centripetal force in practice. जो ये centripetal force cyclist obtain करता है, ये कहाँ से obtain करता है? It has to come from the external agency. कोई ऐसी रस्सी तो नहीं बांधी गई है साइकिल की to with the center, जैसे आपने एक स्टोन में एक स्ट्रिंग बांध के उसको घुमाना शुरू किया, so you are transmitting the necessary centripetal force to the stone through the string. यहाँ तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. There is one apparent force which will be of the important role, that is force of friction between the tire and the ground. So friction plays a role here because friction happens to be an external force. तो जो ये centripetal force mv square by r है, this centripetal force if I say has to be obtained from the friction, so I have force of friction and I say that this mv square by r has to be either equal to the force of friction or less than it, slightly less than it. mv square by r cannot exceed the force of friction. अब friction की दो types होती है. One is the static friction between two surfaces and other is the kinetic friction. Let me take for the safety factor the highest value of the static friction between these two surfaces. तो जो L में लिख रहा हूं, that L is the limiting friction, and you will be remembering कि जब हम friction को देखते हैं, what is the friction acting on a body, so एक ऐसा ग्राफ आपको याद होगा. So this is the force of friction, this is the applied force and this is the highest value of friction. तो मैं यहाँ यही वाला value use कर रहा हूँ and I see that this force of friction which I write as mu multiplied by mg, mg is now the weight of cyclist plus cycle has to be greater than or equal to mv square by r. So m gets cancelled, we get v square has to be less than or equal to mu rg. And if I take the equality sign, then I obtain a safe limit for the velocity. That safe limit for the velocity becomes equal to square root of mu rg, and this safe limit of the velocity will be probably कि जब आप चाहते हैं कि फ्रिक्शन आपको सपोर्ट करे और साइकिल स्किड ना हो, we must limit the value of velocity to this value, which is mu times r into g. Mu is coefficient of friction. Higher the coefficient of friction between the tires and the road, you can exceed to a higher value. आप high velocity से negotiate कर सकते हो. Lower the coefficient of friction, sometimes it happens कि road becomes slippery because some kind of lubricant or water is put on the road. तो आप देखेंगे कि there is a chance of skidding because coefficient of friction is decreased. And same way, this is radius of curvature. Larger the radius of curvature, larger would be the velocity. That means जब आप एक बहुत ही कम कर्व वाली रोड को नेगोशिएट करते हो, आपकी जो सेफ वेलोसिटी है या जो सेफ लिमिट है वो ज्यादा है. अगर कर्वेचर कम हुआ, दैट मीन्स रोड बिल्कुल एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कर्व है, उस स्ट्रॉन्ग कर्व पर द वेलोसिटी हैज टू बी केप्ट लो. सेम इज द रोल प्लेड बाय जी. सो इन दैट सेंस जो ये v की वैल्यू है, this would be the safe limit if we have to depend only on friction. Now here a question arises कि एक साइक्लिस्ट लीन कर सकता है, एक एयरक्राफ्ट हवा में लीन कर सकता है, बेंड कर सकता है. राइट विंग कैन बी रेज्ड with respect to the left wing, or left wing can be raised with respect to the right wing. What does a four-wheeler do? If a four-wheeler is to negotiate a curve, a surface, what does it do? I think there is less option with a four-wheeler. There is a property, or there is a practice of banking of curved roads. So if you imagine that there is a road जिसका right bank और left bank कुछ ऐसे रखा गया हो, so this is the right bank and the left bank. ये एक vehicle negotiate करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. You are watching the front side of the vehicle, so this is the front side of the vehicle जो आपकी तरफ आ रहा है. So this is the vehicle like this. ये vehicle का front side आप देख रहे हैं, and this vehicle is moving towards you. These are the tires of the vehicle. ये tires हैं. ये है angle theta at which the right bank, ये right bank है, curved road ऐसे है. Here is a curved road. So जो outer bank है, it is raised up with respect to the inner bank. तो मैं यही relations use कर सकता हूँ यहाँ पर. So I can think of the banking like this now. तो ये हमारे पास रहा. This is the value of, or this is the Cartesian plane which we erect. तो ये है आपके पास vertical with respect to this. I have now this is the weight mg of vehicle. This is angle theta. ये है normal reaction. I can get it to the road. ये road पर यहाँ पर perpendicular है. So this is r. I can call this as r cos theta. I can call this as, so this would be r cos theta. तो ये इसका एक perpendicular component होगा. So this is r sin theta. R sin theta provides the necessary centripetal force. So I have r sin theta equal to m v square by r. I have r cos theta equal to mg. Now in this case, जो ये theta है, this theta is angle of banking. So theta is angle of banking, angle of banking. And I can again develop the same relation. R sin theta divided by r cos theta becomes equal to mv square by r into 1 by mg. M gets cancelled, so r gets cancelled. Tan theta is equal to v square by rg. तो यहाँ पर हम फिर से इग्नोर कर रहे हैं एक चीज, that is the friction so far. So how much angle of banking you will require for a curved road to make the negotiation by a vehicle successful. So here is the equation that tan theta is equal to v square by rg. And remember that this relation, whether you are using it for a cyclist who is leaning, or you are using it for a vehicle, a four-wheeler, where the road has been banked, we are finding that the relation is independent of the mass. क्योंकि जो mass की cancellation है in this case and in the previous case, that cancellation is again something which is important in the day-to-day life. Whether a speed limit given at a curve is for a car or for a truck or for another light vehicle, it does not change with the mass of the vehicle. So उस लिहाज से जब भी हम एक कर्व नेगोशिएशन की बात करते हैं, we have the uniform speed limit, जिसको हम safe limit of speed कहते हैं, for all kinds of the vehicles, whether heavy or light in weight. So in this discussion so far, we started with the idea that a circular motion is possible only if a centripetal force acts on a body. So centripetal force mv square by r can be obtained by utilizing friction between the surface and tires of a bike or a cycle. We can get the relevant expression for finding that how much will be the angle theta which will be required for acquiring a certain velocity, जिस velocity को हम एक safe limit कहते हैं. और जब तक एक vehicle की बात है, फोर व्हीलर की बात, वो लीन तो नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन हम उस वक्त रोड को ही बैंकिंग दे देते हैं, एक रोड को आउटर एज इनर एज से रेज कर देते हैं, which we call as a banked road, and for that bankered road, we find out that how we can obtain the value for the safe limit. So this way, we have two applications of centripetal force. For the aeroplane in air, the right bank anytime can be raised with respect to the left bank, which you can find in different air shows or different negotiations by various aircrafts, that they sometimes they tilt their these wings and lower the one wing, raise the other wing. That is a kind of leaning in the air as a cyclist leans on the ground.